All right, guys, I'm a mad fool. Let's go ahead and try to get into the life team, and then we're going to do the dragons and neutrals together because there's usually less dragon cards. Quick sip of water. Probably should have done that before I started to record, but let's just go ahead and get this going. We're trying to do these in 20 minutes or less now. We're looking at the new summoners. Now, we already talked about a green and life. Very interesting. Lots of cleansing, lots of healing, lots of add-ins of very interesting cards. Amazing mages in both teams. I like that. When you go into water and life, a lot of the same thing. It brings cleanses, brings healings, but it brings sneaking, and sneak is very interesting because the water team does have the life team does have a bit of a sneak lineup. Definitely a very interesting play. Also brings some very interesting mages that can work together, but overall I would say those lineups are going to be very interesting to see what people can actually try to build with them. We went into them a little more in depth when I did the green review and the water review. I'll try to just keep that in my mind as we're looking at these actual life cards though in depth. Their tactic summoner, give heal to one unit. Heal to one unit. Heal. I need to check something really quick. Let's bring in the units. This is heal. So you heal yourself. The other one is called tank heal. Okay, that's what I was double checking. Let's go back to the summoners for just a moment. Okay, so you can make one unit on the board have a self heal. That is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. You can figure out who they're going to target, where the self-heal will do the most help for your team, and add it to that place. And any monster on the team now could have a self-heal. That is pretty wild. Okay, +2 speed to 2 units. Okay, if you're going to try to go a sneak team, if you're going to try to go a sniper team, or if you're just going to try to help make sure some of your slower monsters can hit, that's pretty cool as well. Again, this harps back to if you're going to be able to target 2 different units, and this is something you're going to want to adjust on the fly on the tactics, then your units need to probably be attacking different areas, and then you'll know the cards that you want to speed up. I still think Illithid and Grandmaster Wraith will be the most used summoners for this set, but this one will be interesting. I imagine a lot of people will want to use it to see if this is really super impactful or not. All right, let's get into the new units. Oops, I have Chaos Legion on. We'll turn that off for the first review, and then we'll bring them in as we get further on. All right, so we're going to start off with the Aura Bandit. Let's look at him first at bronze level. A nice 4-cost 2 archery. It's very important to have at least 2 archery attack on most cards you play in case you run into a low-level shield. 2 speed. It's a sniper, which is interesting, and it has a dodge. I don't mind dodge as a secondary ability. He never picks up a third ability, and as he levels through silver, he's still a 2 attacker, but he gets more survivability, a lot more, from 3 to 5. So that's kind of nice. His speed doesn't increase until 7. So that's when those dodges can maybe become a little more prevalent. And then as he levels from there, he gets even faster to 5 speed. Stays at 3 damage, picks up an HP, picks up an HP. At max level, the 4-3-5-8 is pretty cool. He's probably pretty playable even at the top as like a competitive card right here. Obviously, that 1 extra HP maybe makes him a little bit more in case you got a 3-attack sneaker coming after him. Then they need 3 attacks. With 3 attacks and a 25% dodge rate, you'd hopefully dodge at least 1 time, taking at least 4 attacks before your bandit would be gone. That is a sniper. We're going to see if there's a couple other snipers that come into the mix here. You do have one over here. So it looks like they are getting the opportunity to try a snipe meta. All right. Let's go ahead and look at this card first. This is their no attack monster. Interesting. It's a no attack monster that gets True Strike. True Strike, Triage, and Return Fire. That's actually pretty nice. You can put this up in the front. It can heal the cards behind it. And then with a weapons training, you can give it an attack for the front row. I did forget, what weapons training does white have? Do they have one on these set of cards? Not immediately. Let me go to Chaos Legion then. Who is their weapons trainer? Let me just remember. This is one of those things, not a lot of us use weapons training very much, and so it's going to be interesting to see as that comes more into the meta if cards like this become more important. Interesting, the major weapons trainers for this team are Zuriel and Avis. So that's definitely interesting. This does mean that if you wanted to put that card in the front row and try a little low-level tank, you could throw 3 magic damage onto it, and that would be, not a terrible lineup. Okay, we had to just do that really quick for this one. It is interesting, though, with Zuriel as being another card it could be next to, then it would be a true striking archer for 3 damage in the back row that had to triage and would be returning fire, so you could maybe put it in a location where it would be like a counter sniper. So that's an interesting play. We got a 4-cost melee monster here with an armor strike. This looks like maybe a Little League tank. Oh, a Little League tank with self-heal. That is definitely interesting. The Sky Spire Yak. I can definitely see that being kind of meta. In the lower levels, it attacks twice for 1. I don't love that. I want it to be at least attacking for 2. But with the caveat, if you have a way to buff his armor and repair his armor, then maybe he can be attacking for like 1 in 3 or 1 in 4. That would be pretty good. Be careful you don't run into thorns. There are some level 1 thorns that having 2 strikes against, I don't know if that triggers twice, but I would think it would. Man, there's so many questions going into this new set that I just don't know all the answers to. It's pretty wild. But I like this card, and definitely I think once it gets its self-heal here, even at level 9, it's going to be kind of ridiculous, but this is only really for the top league. I think a lot of lower level people will kind of ignore this card. We got our new healer. So this one is replacing the Truth Speaker. It isn't a cleanse healer. It's a shielded, strengthened tank healer with a magic attack with 8 HP. That is an interesting play. Theoretically, you can put this card in the last position. It will take half damage from sneak attackers while giving itself a 9th HP and buffing everyone else's HP and doing a tank heal for the tank. Or it could be like just a mage that once you build it to go into the front position, it can, take a little while to get killed. Not going to be dealing much damage there with that 1 HP, but a very interesting card. Here we get a very interesting rare card. So you get a Headwinds 1-in-1, so 1 magic, 1 archery attack monster. That's very interesting. These double attack monsters are nice if their double attacks can get a little bit bigger, because then you don't have to worry about force fields. I like Headwinds. Headwinds is always nice. Weakening the other team's archery is a good play, and it gets a repair. So it gets a repair here in the Gold League. That's going to be very important. This is an armor-heavy team. It even can have magic armor with Wraith and then be repairing magic armor. That is pretty meta. So this is a really good card for the team without a doubt. It never really becomes super impactful on its attack, but there are some ways for it to get additional archery damage, so that is so interesting. And all of these cards can get that 2 speed buff put on them, which is pretty interesting, right? From the summoner. So that is kind of interesting. The other thing is all of them could have a self-heal. So this guy could theoretically have a self-heal and a heal and be a front row tank with shield and heal himself and then self-heal. So that would be kind of wildly funny to see. We get another sniper here to go with this sniper. Of course, I don't love archery snipers with magic snipers. They don't work together the way I would love. I do know there is a new sniper from the neutral set that we will talk about a little bit with this team. So you get a lookout card. That's nice. It is magic. That's nice with lookout. You can put it anywhere you want. It's a sniper. That maybe snipers will be more prevalent here. It through silver though, it's only 1 damage. In gold, it's 2, and then in champion, it gets stays at 2 damage, picks up some HP, and picks up return fire. So solid card. I can definitely see with Lookout this being a card that'll get played more often because I think Ambush is going to be pretty meta. All right. Silver Seal Blade Fighter. Okay, so this is their 6-cost tank. It seems like a lot of them got 6-cost tank. It is a tank that has flank, so he can make anybody be his backup. His armor becomes void armor very early on. You're going to want that right away because now he's more like a 12 HP tank. And the repairs can work on him like heals, and heals can work on him like heals. He gets a little bit more attack when we go into silver. And then he gets, let's see. Oh, he gets a protect. So that's interesting. So definitely like, okay, so with a magic armor with a protect for the entire team. And he picks up a 3rd HP. Protects are important, so I can see that card being used a little bit. I do think he's got his work cut out for him in tanking for the team. When you got cards like the Drybone Raider, you have cards like the Inevitable, you got Uriel. I overlooked him. I don't know why, but the Imperial Knight is similar cost. 4 attack, 7 armor, void armor, but self-heal and magic reflect. So I don't know exactly where he fits into the meta for tanks, but he's got to protect, so that's an interesting card. We got a new opportunity monster. This one, 5 cost. We can compare him to the slug that is going away that had like a slow. This guy is slow, but he has a true strike. So you have a true strike opportunity monster. That's kind of sexy. He's got 2 attack early on. He doesn't pick up a 3rd attack until gold, though. So in silver, he gets more armor and more life. Not that important for your opportunity monster, but I guess it's not a terrible thing to get. Sorry, the yawns are getting me throughout all these videos. You guys can have a laugh about that. You can see here, once we get him into champion level, he does get a 4th damage. He's almost like a little mini Rooney without the resurrect. Here, this is interesting. He picks up a cleanse. Yeah, I mean, I like that. It's another, him being able to cleanse your tank while headhunting people. That's not a bad ability. It's an interesting place to see a cleanse. This card looks really cool. So the Harbinger of Chaos. So you got a Divine Shield, Mage. Those are always nice. 3 damage early on is nice. Immunity later on is really nice. So now you got those poison matches. A nice back row monster that can sit there and not be poisoned. And then it gets a 4th attack. And then we have another weirdity of it getting a level and getting no other abilities. I wonder if the team has noticed that these two, this is my second time I found these examples making these. I don't know why you would level this up. Unless you wanted to put it on land, but that's a pretty low PP, so I don't think anyone wants to put these cards on the land. And right here, he is a 4/3/9 da-da-da, and right here, he is a 4/3/9 da-da-da-da-da. So I guess that's a nice epic card that you only need to get 32 copies of. I definitely will be asking about these in the bug reports, but I don't know exactly when. But this is odd to me. It almost feels like maybe he should have 10 HP here, and that's a little mistake. So he's a little more survivable. That would be my guess. But maybe they're doing that on purpose, so you have a couple cards you don't have to get to max level. The other epic card is a Scattershotting Archer. That we've seen a couple of these on the other teams. 1 damage here. It's kind of interesting. You're really hoping to get really lucky and maybe help a sneak or opportunity monster finish someone off. 2 attack. You're maybe trying to plink somebody in the back row. But again, scattershot monsters are not terrible to get. Flying monsters are nice for earthquake matches. 3/7/5 is really, really nice on a epic card for 3 costs, so I like that. Let's go into the legendaries. Okay, so we got Baradala. So she is a taunting tank. So shield bearer's going away. This is maybe your new taunting tank. You could give her a self tank, self heal, and then she could be a shielding, taunted, armor striking tank with 6 armor, with a self heal. So that's what the new summoner could. This is obviously a target you could put a self heal on. As she gets stronger, she eventually picks up a 3rd attack. And then here she picks up 1 more speed and one more health. And the armor becomes void armor. Ooh, that is pretty sexy. So you're talking 714 void, shielded, and taunting. This card is interesting. I like this card a lot. This will definitely get some play. And an armor strike with a 7. When she attacks, she's going to do 3 and 7? Jeez. That 10 damage? All right. Winner. That's the most powerful looking card I've seen. Given the armor can be rusted away or shattered by some fast monster, and then she just does 3 damage. But when that works, oof. All right, then we get a nice big archer with dodge and inspire to make her hit even harder, a divine shield, and a new resurrect for the team. Untamed did have them lose some resurrects. The main thing I can see Commander Goff pulling off is helping us with our Izar meta of making her absolutely ridiculous when she is getting martyred 2 times by Adela Brightwing and Commander Goff. So let's go ahead and bring Adela into the board, because as you can see, she will still be on this team somewhere. Here she is. So we have a resurrect here. We have Izar waiting to be resurrected. And then we have her waiting to get extremely, extremely powerful. So with 2 resurrects, that's 1, 2, 3 Mardars. She could have 5 attack and like an ungodly amount of armor and just be laying waste to people. So that's kind of interesting. They did lose. No, they still have Shinra Nova. Yeah, I was thinking they still have the triage there. Kind of an interesting play with the new summoner. You could give Izar a heal, so she'd be a taunting tank with a Shinra Nova there, giving her a triage, and then that would be something kind of interesting. Then you can throw onto the board right here with the repair on this unit. Definitely some interesting plays on this team. There no cleanse though, huh? Did they have? Oh no, they did have a cleanse from this guy. So he'll have to be on the board to give you a cleanse if you want to use all that survivability and use that self heal on Vera. But boy, there's some fun. There's going to be some fun lineups to try here with Life. I think they're the team I've gotten most excited about, which is kind of interesting. But let's go ahead. We already kind of took, let's see, quick looks against their teams up here. Let me just make sure I look at the right teams. They're green and blue, right? Green and blue. Yeah, we'll move the summoners out of the way. Oh yeah, so neutral. I know there was a neutral sniper in the new set. So let's take Chaos Legion off the board really quick. Right here on neutral. Where's that sniper? Right here. 7 cost, pretty expensive little sniper, but for that sniper lineup that they kind of have, so sniper here, sniper here, sniper here, and then when you add in the Chaos Legion, and we'll take away the neutrals temporarily. Did they have another sniper? I know they have, they have the scattershot monsters. I feel like they lost two of their snipers that got relegated to wild, with the Silver Shield Sheriff and the 5 cost one. So yeah, so they lost their old snipers. They didn't have any in Chaos Legion. They do have Scattershot. So you've got the Portal Spinner. So you could combo the Portal Spinner with the Harpy and then throw in a couple neutral Scattershot users, and definitely they have that interesting Scattershot. Obviously, they have Zuriel to go with their no attack monster right here. So that's going to be a nice solid play. Overall, there's some exciting things going on here in life. All right, thanks, guys. We're going to go ahead and end this one right here.